Today I want to talk about why Stephen Curry and LeBron James are ruining the NBA. The Warriors and the Cavs are ruining the NBA. Let's all say it, because they are just sweeping their way through the playoffs and they're ruining the NBA level of competition. It's almost like no team can beat them unless you join them. I'm saying no NBA player right now can beat the Warriors or the Cavs unless you join them and you help beat either or. And KD is a great example. KD had been falling behind because he just couldn't beat LeBron James and the Cavaliers, and he couldn't beat Stephen Curry and the Warriors. So what you gotta do is you gotta join either or and help beat the other. So what I'm trying to say is this: if a player as great as Kevin Durant, with the talent as great as Kevin Durant, can say, hey listen, I can never beat the Warriors in the playoffs, and even if I go to the finals, I can't beat LeBron James and the Cavs with the team that I have, so let me join either LeBron James or Stephen Curry. Now in the NBA you have players that don't have the talent as great as Kevin Durant. You have players like DeMar DeRozan, players like Paul George that are not as great as Kevin Durant. So why wouldn't they join either the Warriors or the Cavs if they know that they can't beat them? If Kevin Durant can join them and he's a top 3 best player in the world, he's a player that's considered next to LeBron James. If a player like that can join a team that he can't beat, why won't other players that are lower than him or have less talent than him, why wouldn't they join too? Because every player in the NBA wants to play with LeBron James and Stephen Curry if they had the chance, and KD, he had the chance. Any other NBA team or any other NBA player knows they cannot beat the Warriors in the playoffs, and they know they cannot beat the Cavs in the playoffs. And even if they do get to the finals and they have to face the Warriors or the Cavs, they're not gonna beat them because they don't have enough manpower to defeat the talent that's on each team. So what can you do to beat them? You join them. And once you join them, you can combine forces to beat the other team. I feel like a lot of NBA players are gonna try to join either the Cavs or the Warriors because they can't beat them, which in turn ruining the NBA, because every other team now when they face LeBron James and the Warriors, they know they cannot beat them if they don't have enough manpower. So you have a lot of people on the bench not even trying. A lot of bench players on those teams, do you think they're really playing hard to beat LeBron James? They know they cannot beat LeBron James. So do you think that they're playing at 100%? Not really. So a lot of you might be saying, yo Clive, how is Stephen Curry and LeBron James ruining the NBA? How are the Warriors and Cavaliers ruining the NBA? Now let me break it down to you like this, just real quick before I go in depth. Every player in the NBA would love to play with LeBron James because he's not selfish with the ball, and every player in the NBA would love to play with Stephen Curry because he's not selfish with the ball. Both the players are not selfish with the ball, and those teams are the best teams in the NBA. And from what we've seen with LeBron James having Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, and with Stephen Curry having KD and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, it's always gonna be Cavs versus Warriors in the finals. Any other team that tries to beat them in the playoffs is gonna have a hard time unless they have enough talent that beats the Warriors and Cavs. And if you say, Clive, you're wrong, I'll give you an example. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a top 3 best player in the NBA. You have LeBron, KD, Stephen Curry. Right now, those are the top 3 best players, the most talked about players in the NBA right now. So if the world or the NBA considers KD a top 3 best player and he decides to join Stephen Curry, think about it. Now hold on, think about it. If KD is a top 3 best player and he decides to join forces with Stephen Curry because he knows that he cannot beat LeBron James by himself, even if he does get to the finals, he decides to join the Warriors because he knew that he couldn't beat the Warriors with him and only Westbrook. It would not happen. So if Kevin Durant can say, you know what, I'm a top 3 best player right now, the only person that can beat me is LeBron James. Okay, so I don't want to join LeBron James because that's the person I want to beat. Who can I join? Oh wait, Stephen Curry, because Stephen Curry is also a top 3 best player. So okay, let me join Stephen Curry. Me and him will beat LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. So I'm gonna get LeBron James, Stephen Curry gets Kyrie Irving. But of course in the Warriors you also have Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. But at the same time, it's almost like KD is a top 3 best player and he joined forces with Stephen Curry because he knew that even if he does get to the finals with Westbrook, that's not enough to beat LeBron James and the Cavs. And also, Kevin Durant knows that because he got lucky when they were up 3-1 and the Warriors came back. He got lucky because the Warriors were not gonna let that happen ever again. So he knows that, yo, we got lucky this time, Westbrook. We were up 3-1 and we choked because the Warriors are just a great team, and me and you, Westbrook, we cannot beat the Warriors by ourselves. So what I need to do is join the Warriors, because once KD joins the Warriors, then he can beat LeBron James. Or well, not beat LeBron James, but the odds of him beating the Cavaliers in the finals are way better than the odds of him beating the Cavaliers in the finals while on a team with Westbrook. And also, if he does go to the Warriors, he also says, okay, now I don't gotta face the Warriors anymore because I'm not on the Thunder anymore. The Warriors and Cavs. On the Warriors, you have Stephen Curry. and of course other players. Now KD. On the Cavs, you got LeBron James and of course Kyrie, and other players, right? Stephen Curry and LeBron James are ruining the NBA. Maybe not Stephen Curry and LeBron James themselves, but they add to the equation. The Warriors and Cavs, LeBron James and Stephen Curry are on those teams, so they're ruining the NBA. Because whatever team LeBron James is on, they go to the finals every single year. And from what we've seen so far, every team that Stephen Curry has been on is going to the finals every single year. Because of course Stephen Curry now has KD, and he always had Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. I mean, it took a long time for the Warriors to be the team that they are now, but even before they had KD, the Warriors were unstoppable. And even when KD was injured, the Warriors were still unstoppable. No other NBA team can stop the Warriors. Maybe the Spurs, but we haven't seen that yet. Maybe the Spurs can stop the Warriors. Maybe the Rockets. Maybe the Pelicans. Now they got DeMarcus Cousins, but they don't have enough firepower, because you cannot tell me that DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis can stop KD, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. You cannot tell me that the Rockets with James Harden and Aaron Gordon can stop Stephen Curry, KD, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. You cannot tell me that any team in their conference can stop the Warriors. Now the Warriors got KD. I mean, of course, when they rest the Warriors bench is weak. The Warriors bench has been the weakest as it's been today. The Warriors bench has been the weakest in the 2017 season because they had to give up a lot to get KD. But when you have Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, KD, and Klay Thompson on the court, I don't think they can lose the finals. I don't think they can lose. They can lose some regular season games because they want to rest and because they don't want to go hard. But when it comes to, let's say they're in the finals and the level of play has to be elevated because they want to win a championship ring, I don't think they gotta lose the finals. So that ruins the NBA, because whatever team is in the Warriors conference, I mean, I'm sorry to break it to you, but they're not gonna get to the finals. From now on, it's gonna be Warriors versus Cavs in the finals almost every single year. Unless the other teams like the Spurs, the Rockets, unless they get help, unless they get better players, then they can stop the Warriors. Or unless somehow the Warriors just are bad and they lose. But at the same time, if Stephen Curry is bad, then KD is gonna step it up. If KD is bad, then Klay Thompson is gonna step it up. And what also happens most of the time is whenever the Warriors are just bad, Draymond Green always steps it up. Whatever team is in the Warriors conference, they're not gonna get to the finals, or it's gonna be tougher for them to get to the finals. Now let's talk about LeBron James and the Cavaliers. Nowadays, it's almost like any other teams that get caught in between the crossfire, they have to survive or somehow crawl their way into the finals, because you're not just gonna beat the Warriors and Cavaliers that easy. They have too much manpower, they have too much talent on their teams for them to just lose. So now let's go to LeBron James and the Cavaliers. So as I said in the beginning, whatever team LeBron is on seems to be the team that goes to the finals every single year. Now, of course, we can all credit to the fact that LeBron James is just as smart. He has a high basketball IQ. LeBron James looks at the NBA like he's a fan. LeBron James always says, yo, I wonder what happens if I go to that team. How good will we be? And he actually does it. That's the difference between LeBron and other players. Other players are so loyal to their team that they don't want to do that. Because LeBron James, he was on the Cavs. He left the Cavs to go to the Miami Heat. But at the same time, if we all remember, the Cavs were trash when LeBron was on that team. So he saw Miami Heat, they got Dwayne Wade. What if we bring in Chris Bosh? How unstoppable would we be? So they went out and did it, and they were unstoppable. Nobody could beat them until the Spurs, of course, but nobody could beat them. It almost seemed like they were never gonna lose. But of course, LeBron left. But what if LeBron had never left the Miami Heat? Maybe they could have gotten even more players to that team. With the LeBron James, everybody wants to play with LeBron James. If Stephen Curry had the chance to play with LeBron James, you don't think he would do it? If KD had the chance to play with LeBron James, you don't think he would do it? Every NBA player would do it, because the more good players you have on your team, the better you are. Because back then in the NBA, it was more about, I want to beat you. Nowadays, it's more of like, I want to go to a place where I can make the most money, where I can win rings and win championships, and I'll be good. So as I said before, whatever team LeBron is on seems to go to the finals every single year. So if LeBron James has been to the finals for almost seven years straight now, do you really think that any other team in the Cavs conference can beat them? Right? For example, let's say you're the Toronto Raptors. Do you really think you can beat LeBron James and get to the finals? Do you think that LeBron James is gonna let that happen? It's not gonna happen. If LeBron James has won the playoffs every single year for 7 years straight, he's been in the finals for almost 7 years straight. Whenever a new NBA season starts, we should just be like, okay, LeBron is going to the finals. Now who else? Oh wait, Warriors, because they got Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant. LeBron James and Stephen Curry are ruining the NBA, because every single year it will always be Warriors versus Cavs, because of the talent that they have on the teams. The talent that they have on those teams is just too great for them to not meet in the finals every single year. Every other team that's in the NBA seems useless now, because it's like, what's the point of you even trying to fight to go to the finals when you're just gonna lose because you cannot beat LeBron James, Kyrie, and Kevin Love? What's the point of players even fighting to get to the finals if, of course, you know that you can't beat KD with Stephen Curry, with Draymond Green, with Klay Thompson? How can you beat that? The level of competitiveness is leaving the NBA because nowadays people want to be super teams, people want to join super teams, people don't want competition. KD is a prime example. KD, when he got beat by the Warriors, he went and joined them because he knows that as long as he stays on the Thunder with Westbrook and he goes to the finals and faces off against LeBron James, it's not happening. You're not beating LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love if you only got you and Westbrook. And then the chemistry that they have is it's not stable. And also, before they even get to the finals, they gotta beat the Warriors. So if KD still had Westbrook, I mean, they were close to beating the Warriors, but they choked. But then again, that tells you how much of a great team the Warriors were. And also what happens is, because every other NBA team sees that you can't beat the Warriors and the Cavs, now it's almost like everyone will try to join them, because if you can't beat them, join them. And if KD could join them and he was a top 3 best player in the world right now, if he says, yo, you know what, I can't beat LeBron James or the Warriors by myself with Westbrook, I need to join one of those teams, that's ruining the NBA, because every other team, if they really want to win rings, they have no choice but to join those teams.